Hi everyone, this is Miss Felice. In this video, we're going to practice writing equations from real-world situations. Let's take a look at our first example here, which says, the number of red marbles in a jar is 3 times the number of blue marbles. There are 27 red marbles and B blue marbles. Write an equation to represent this situation. And then we will figure out how many blue marbles there are. So we know that red is 3 times the number of blue. We don't know how many blue marbles there are yet. We just know that there are B blue marbles. And we also know that 27 is the number of red marbles. So there are 3 times the number of blue marbles. 3 times the number of blue marbles. But we know that blue is just B. So we could say 3 times B, or 3B, that's how many red marbles there will be, because red is 3 times the number of blue. So 3 times B will equal red. We also know that there are 27 red marbles, so 3 times B has to equal 27. That would be our equation. 3B equals 27. Now, we can also solve this to figure out how many blue marbles there are. 3 times B equals 27. Well, if I do the inverse and divide by 3, I get the answer B equals 9. So there are 9 blue marbles in the jar. I know this is correct because 3 times 9 is 27. In our next example, Shan exercises daily. Today he did 85 push-ups, which is 20 more than he usually does. How many push-ups P does Shan usually do? So again, we're going to write an equation and solve it. Today he did 85 push-ups, which is 20 more than he usually does. So usually Shan does P push-ups, but today he did 20 more than that. So he did P plus 20, and that was a total of 85 push-ups. So our equation would be P plus 20 equals 85. Now again, we can solve this by completing the inverse operation by subtracting 20, where we would get the answer P equals 65. So normally, Shan does 65 push-ups, but today he did 20 more than he usually does. He did 85 push-ups. 65 plus 20 is 85. Those keywords 20 more than helped me to understand that I needed to show plus 20 somewhere in this equation. The same way that from the first problem, I saw the words 3 times the number of blue. That's how I knew I would need to be multiplying by 3 somewhere in this equation. So let's go look at the next problem. Martha's daughter is 1/4 Martha's age. If Martha's daughter is 12 years old, how old is Martha? And again, we're going to write an equation and then solve it. So Martha's daughter is 1/4 of Martha's age, and she's also 12 years old. Now, they didn't give us a variable here, so we can use any variable we want. I'm going to use x, and I'm going to let x equal the part that we don't know. We don't know Martha's age, so I'm going to let x equal Martha's age. Okay, x will equal Martha's age. Now, we know that Martha's daughter is 1/4 of Martha's age. So we can represent that by saying 1/4 of x. because X is Martha's age. And 1/4 of X, we know, is 12 years old, because 1/4 of Martha's age would be 12. That's how old the daughter is. So here is how we could represent this situation with an equation. 1/4 X, however, could also be represented like this. X divided by 4 would equal 12. So this would be another way to represent this same situation. Both equations are equivalent, both of them would work. Now to solve it, we have to do the inverse operation. Dividing by 1/4 is what we would do here. So we would be, once we use the SIR method, multiplying by 4/1. And same thing here, we would be multiplying by 4. So 12 times 4 is 48. X equals 48, no matter which equation you use. So Martha is 48 years old, and her daughter is 12 years old. 12 is 1/4 of 48. 12 is 1/4 of 48. So that works. We will do one more example together. At Glencliff High School, the photography club has 23 members. They have 23 members, which is 12 fewer than the Hacky Sack Club. So I want to know, does the Hacky Sack Club have 35 members or 11 members? And we're going to write the equation to model it. Well, 12 fewer than Hacky Sack. I don't know how many members Hacky Sack Club has yet, So that would be my variable. That's my unknown. So when I use a variable in this problem, like X, that's going to represent the Hacky Sack Club. Hacky Sack Club. They're members. So going back to the problem, we know that the photography club has 23, and that is 12 fewer than Hacky Sack. So Hacky Sack is X. 12 fewer than that, we could show with minus 12. And we know that the photography club is 23. So Hacky Sack minus 12 has to equal 23. X minus 12 equals 23. Of course, we use those inverse operations to solve. And we get that X equals 25. X equals 35. So the Hacky Sack Club has 35 members. Now, does that make sense in this problem? Let's go back and check. It says Photography Club has 23 members, which is 12 fewer than Hacky Sack, meaning Hacky Sack Club needs to have more members than the Photography Club. So if it was between either 35 members or 11 members, the answer has to be 35, because Hacky Sack Club has 12 more than the Photography Club. Okay, so here's our video of writing equations. Please watch this as many times as you need and let me know if you have any questions.